TIFU by joking about my husband getting a sugar baby. I guess this is more of a last few weeks I've fucked up, but I thought it fit here. Been having intimacy issues due to some trauma that happened a few months ago. Husband has been great and supportive throughout me seeing a therapist. But still, lack of intimacy is hard. I saw a post on Reddit of a guy saying that he was going to get a sugar baby and didn't lie to his wife. He told her once her libido came back, he'd end it. I showed it to my husband and made a joke that maybe that was where we were heading and this is what I'm worried about. It is not uncommon for us to joke in this way. We talked things out after he made sure I was just kidding and I thought that was the end of it. Last couple of weeks he's been his usual self, but brings home gifts more often, favorite foods, a plant, etc. And then I really fucked up this past week. I was sick with pneumonia and went to see the doctor. Doctor offered to run an STI test and I was like, why not? Results come back, husband is on the phone with me hearing about how I'm doing and doctor gives me the all clear on STIs, great. Exactly what I expected. Next thing I know, my best friend reaches out to me, friends with husband as well, because he contacted her to figure out a good surprise, on top of everything else. She knows I dislike surprises. Today I finally ask WTF is going on and he freaks out. Turns out, he's been terrified about the damn sugar baby thing. He's been leaving his phone around unlocked, his password is our anniversary, same as mine, or being very explicit about where he is at all times. He's been getting me anything he thinks I might like. He skipped playing basketball with some friends because he didn't want me uncomfortable, was still sick and didn't want to go. I laughed because I have access to all his emails and text messages. It's all on a shared computer. He has the same for me. I handle money in our relationship and he's always had his location shared with me. Oh, and I trust him. He thought I was hinting that I was concerned this was something actually happening. Long story short, I'll be more careful with my jokes now. TLDR joked about husband getting a sugar baby. Husband freaked out thinking I was concerned and has been ridiculous. Gotta watch my own mouth sometimes. Pretty wholesome as far as TIFU goes. How are you? Him I am at Target, in aisle 8, in between the ragu and the prego. From the title, I thought maybe you'd made an offhand joke about giving him permission and were now dealing with the consequences. This is thankfully way more wholesome. LOL, your hubby is so pure now it's all worked out. I'd be tempted to buy a box of sugar babies candy and leave it on his side of the bed. You both are adorable. Sweet story. That said, if your husband was going to get a sugar baby, where should he go to get one? You know, hypothetically. He's a keeper, and so are you. Good luck on your recovery. How was the STI test fitting in there? Sounds like he loves you. Keep being honest and you'll both get through this. Life is hard, but we choose who we suffer through it with. That means so much more than people realize or admit to each other. Sharing happiness is easy, sharing sadness together shows you real partners. None of this is normal behavior. Be nice to and love your spouse. Red heart hash. Having access to my emails is definitely not in my definition of trust. It was you were the sugar baby, LMAO. I was expecting you to joke and him to say, well actually I do have one. Sounds like a good guy who actually is there for the long haul with you, keep him around. I get why people think this is wholesome, but how did you make it up to your husband? Dude had to worry about his marriage exploding suddenly for no reason and it was just laughed off in a quick conversation. Going off of just this story, knowing nothing else about you guys, I'd worry about hubby feeling gaslit because the STD thing is so out of left field and out of the check for a cheating partner playbook. Like if you just laughed it off and moved on like normal instead of pampering his loyal butt for a bit. OOF. Why do you have access to each other's messages? That doesn't sound like a trusting relationship at all. Sounds like he deserves a sugar baby TBA. My wife joked about that once and I told her that I don't have enough sugar for the both of them. Oh. He really doesn't want to lose you. Cute. He's so lovely, you both are. Oh nice, this isn't a horrible story. Change the genders and imagine the outcry. I don't understand why people, as far as my experience goes it's women particularly, test their partners with these shitty jokes. You're very lucky your partner reacted this way. This post is why I'm unsubbing. Not even a real TIFU. You're lying. You don't go to clinic for a respiratory problem and get offered a random STD test. You were so worried about him cheating that you went to get an STD test, which is fine, but your anxiety probably isn't as subtle as you think. Hence why your husband tried to reassure. You turned your own husband into a sugar daddy rolling on the floor laughing. Why is he so scared of you? Sounds like a good husband. Wholesome and good. Be well, friend. Wow, thought that was going in the other direction. What a refreshing and wholesome TIFU. Actually good start of the day for me. This TIFU actually made me smile by the end. Unexpectedly wholesome. I thought when you brought up the mutual friend it was gonna have a completely different turn. Good for you two being so open and honest. Geez, my wife is in total denial about her lack of intimacy. I have cuddle fantasies, not sex fantasies. Well, some sex. I was holding my breath for you, stranger. I thought that he was going to be cheating or something. Glad you're okay. I hope everything gets easier for you regarding the trauma. That's actually quite adorable. What a sweet guy. Sounds like you don't have much to worry about. That's awesome. You have a winner. My best to you both. I'm a little late, but since this is a TIFU on Reddit, you have to divorce him. This was a nice read, thank you, grinning face with smiling eyes. He though you meant sugar glider and now there's a surprise arriving from Australia. Technically you didn't F up, he did. He spent all this time worrying by sacrificing his friends and mental health to comfort you. It sounds to me he needs a break and a bit of personal time for himself. I would look into getting him a small trip to some place he likes or an experience instead of just cooking him his favorite food. This had me terrified, thank God it had a wholesome ending. From the title, I thought maybe you'd made an offhand joke about giving him permission and were now dealing with the consequences. This is thankfully way more wholesome. I'm going out on a limb here. Say your intimacy issues continue, for a long time. How long before you tell your SO? Well actually, the sugar baby thing can go ahead. How refreshing. A TIFU that doesn't sound like an entry into a smut magazine. I like your husband. Good guy. You location sharing. Access to all texts and emails. Sounds like you trust him because he doesn't give himself anywhere to hide, not because he's trustworthy. Sounds like he's fine with being controlled though. If it works for you guys, that's great. But it sounds like you have joint social media accounts faced with tears of joy. Seems like he was trying his best to reassure that he's not doing anything. Smart guy. What exactly did you fuck up? From this it looks like you are a very lucky woman. Jesus Christ, just give the guy a blowjob or something. God damn, you had me. I thought it was going downhill, lol. What an awkward dude, lol. Sounds like a great guy, lol. Oh, not the